Here we go, game number 1. As you know, we talked about trying to make good compositions as it gets later in the Fearless Best of 5. Our first one here at the LCK Cup. 265 at the moment. Oh, jumping in. Andil looking for it as comes back to his soul, and Cocoon is going to land. Fish in a lot of trouble. Andil gets on in, but he doesn't have repel, so he will go down. But he does pick up the first blood for himself. Yeah, Yukal, level 6, and he's just going to face check the brush and maybe go down here. The Ignite is ticking, and now it's Lehens who's got a kill. At least DRX able to get in there and pick up one grub, but Nongshim going to be very happy. They get closer to that feat of warfare. They're also going to be able to pick up 2 grubs and pick up the kill. Yeah, it definitely is. We've seen some weird fights around the blue for DRX, and it has happened. And for Bro. We are going to jump on in there and just go for the fight. They try to just lock them down as the Yone ultimate is going to keep them in place basically forever, but funnily enough, they used everything onto not the 2 carries as Yukal trying to do something, and he's not going to be able to. Fisher picks up a second kill, and Teddy unfortunately not able to join the fight, so it was a 2v2.
Or just about to come up.
They just died too fast, you know?
Yeah.
And now Sponge's going to go in. Lehens trying to hook away. He's not going to be able to. They have to turn, but Lehens in a bit of trouble. Tanks up quite a lot and actually still alive for so long. And the Yone just able to clean up. Yukal very out of position after that as they desperately couldn't kill Lehens.
So Sponge gets the interrupt on Lehens. They know he doesn't have flash. He's the only person who doesn't have flash. And they're like, look, we can just kill him. We can burst him down. But there's a lot of disruption that comes through. The locket as well from Lehens is what saves him. And then that ult from Gideon.
Yeah.
And yes, he goes down, but those 2 factors, I think, really baited in Nongshim. The double whammy of the extra shielding, and then...
which are all very strong. So Nongshim, it just feels like they're very much in control of this one. Feats of Strength should come through for them eventually. And trying to go for a dive onto an Aurora. Now the hook is going to miss, and the dive is also going to be a big miss as in goes Lehens with his own tech, brings it out and shuts down Andil. That was one of the saddest dives I've ever seen. That's now looking for a good dive as Nongshim on the top side. They're easily able to dispose of Yukal.
Easy as you do into the Akali. Now Lehens is in a bit of trouble. I think he's just gone.
He might just be, but TP is coming in. There's the locket again. He's buying a lot of time once again, but DRX do have 4 members, but look at Rich. He's not that tanky just yet. He's only got the 1 item and easily disposed of by Jiru. Looking for more. The extension from the Yone on the Xin Zhao. And you would imagine, yes, Gideon should be able to finish off that kill. So now they take another big fight, and they have control of the Dragon Pit. What don't they have at this point?
I think the lesson we've learned is never try and kill Lehens. Then he's gone to Sheen, he's built an Iceborne Gauntlet, but he doesn't really have much armor yet.
Yeah.
Look
at the jungle level gap as well. Not to mention just the jungle gap at the moment in terms of the scoreline. Level 14 to 11, and Sponge dies again. It's free Otacon here for Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so free. I mean, Gideon is so strong. I was going to say he has the Black Cleaver. You have a lot of AD damage in the composition, so Rich is going to feel squishy. They're wanting to contest this.
Well, we've seen Otacon throws before, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. As they get the Otacon, and now they turn on the fight as they're looking to take down Lehens. They will enjoy their 200 gold. He gets a hook in the Death Chamber as well, just to add to the bonuses that he has given to his kills, or his team rather. And there you go, double kill for Jiwoo. Otacon secured for Nongshim. Only Lehens gets withdrawn.
Yeah, definitely felt like a bit of a desperate play there.
I mean, that's saying a lot. You know, it's not even comparing it 1 winning team to 1 losing team. It's like, yeah, he's just that ahead in the game. As, yep, this is the Varus. Doesn't get to play the game. We talked about this in draft, but now the wallets are just gigantic as they are going to catch Gideon. And of course, they will go for the dive with this Otacon buff.
Wait, they got Lehens
of it, and yeah, they did get Lehens.
Well, job successful. That's what they wanted, right?
That's what they've told us all game long, Ox.
Well, in terms of their objective of killing Lehens, you know, they've done it 4 times, not too bad. In terms of their objective of winning the game, DRX hasn't gone so far.
2 other kills. You know, they got Lehens and 2 other kills.
Yeah.
That's it.
To be fair, at this point, I don't think there's much DRX can do. They are at a huge deficit.
Little things. As Andil, he's like, oh, I got a cocoon, guys, come on.
You know.
And he's probably just dead. again, up 3 levels is Gideon on Sponge here as they look to punish him. Should be able to. The disengage cone, not even, it's actually going to help Gideon engage cone over the wall. So the Uno reversal there, actually.
At least support enemy comp is just going to murder me constantly.
Yeah.
The 1 in 5 Akali mid. It's so true.
Well, they got through Lahenz's shields. I will give them that, as in goes Fisher, and they just assassinate them. This game has been done for quite a while, but Nongshim going to show off their big bars of gold that they have gained from all of their farming in this one. Down will go all the members of DRX, and down will fall the Nexus. Nongshim absolutely stomping them, almost 20,000 gold ahead at the end of the game. That one was not close. Here we go, game number 2. DRX selecting blue side after their game 1 loss. The first game from Gideon, and Rich is in a bunch of trouble. He has his flash. He's jumping back into the fight just to try to get some XP, as he says, well, I'm not getting away anyway, and that is first blood given over to Gideon's Lilia. Bowling ball is going to miss. Engage comes in from Andel. It's on to Braum, though, and now the turn comes in. Lahen's tanking up so much damage once again. Low health bars, though, on the side of Nongshim as they look to turn onto Teddy, who might be in a bit of trouble. Flashes, though, and the low health bars might come back to bite them as DRX, they get another engage. Andel slept for quite a while. As here comes King in, level 6 himself. He has tried to join this fight as there's the ult! And the death, though, is traded back. King in looking for a second, gets his second! And Gideon still fighting against Sponge here, who would love to get the Scuttle Crab, and he will be able to. Pretty good about cleaning up the end of that. They've got a fed top laner now and a fed jungler. As King in, he's being baited into this one. Oh, he dashes straight into a very nice spear from Sponge. And Rich gonna shoot him the little happy bumblebee for that one.
Yeah, it's recalling an award. Rich finds him out, the spear connects, and
imagine that. Well, Teddy's got a very nice angle now, and he has his cleanse, so you see that Lahens and Gio are just running away, but you can't quite run away from the Kaisa. Double flash over the wall to get on top of Jiwoo, and they will do just that. Still a fight here over the grubs. Will turn into a quick 3v2, but Sponge is on the chase. They should be able to take down Andel, though, painlessly, as Sponge takes away the grub as well. 3-4-3 in that objective. Fisher here now, and it's getting messy once again. We got a 4v4. In goes King, and he gets the angle, but that's on the Yukal. Now he's trying to flash away and trying to get some peel, but that's the kill on the Ridge. Fisher, full health. He's got the Gatling gun, and he's just running them down with it as Teddy able to at least take out one with the help of Yukal. The missile is going to miss, as it's in the name, and here comes Fisher, and there's not much you can do about that. You're not getting away from those two, as Kingen comes in and steals both kills. There's no saving Fisher here. He could try to TP, but then he'd just die instead. He's going to Valkyrie and survive for a little bit longer. And who they give the kill to is really the question, as the crowd goes wild because nothing misses.
They could just go for Atakan, though. Like, normally I'm quite praiseful of Lahen's doing this thing where he defends his lane with it. There's nothing to be done for Fisher there. And it's on the side of the map with Atakan. You see the TP coming in from Kingen.
They're playing for it.
Sponge is low on mana, but, you know, as he's a jungler, he will regen it quick.
Well, now DRX have pulled off the objective, but they want to take the fight. They want to get in onto Nongshim. And the backline here, they're not successfully able to do so. Nice solar flare, but again, the follow-up is not there. They're not able to take down Jiwoo. And
the sleep!
The sleep! The lineup! It's perfect as the Braum ult's over the top as well. Do they have the damage, though, in the 4v5 is the question. Yes, they absolutely do, as Gideon just prances around, immediately dies, but it doesn't matter. Kingen is unkillable, and Jiwoo is as well for some reason. Nobody could take him down, and Fisher, he's like, hey, remember me?
He gets this.
This is revenge!
Getting Sponge is so big here. It's a Nidalee. She can sustain herself up. She would still have the smite. You wouldn't be able to do Atakan if Nidalee was still alive. Fisher makes the commit. He flashes to secure it. And here, you know, once again, Lahen's is trying to help out his solo laner. But he's just so funny. He's like, you know what, buddy? You're on your own. I am leaving. I've got some presents to deliver. Yeah, just goodbye, Fisher. You're on your own, Chief. But here, they're trying to make the engage happen, but the slow from Jiwoo comes in, the counter-strike doesn't do anything. Lahen's on Braum is obviously very hard to punish.
Yeah.
The ult gets two, but The Sleep comes out and gets 3 in this lineup. The Braum ult and the Ambessa ult. Immediate double flash coming out. And then Jiwoo is just free hitting this whole time.
Yeah.
He's just constantly auto-attacking, applying those slows. Yukal does get that big shutdown onto the Lilia, but yeah, and then I honestly think this final play from Fisher is massive. He knows if Sponge is dead, Arakan is free. If Sponge is alive, we can't do it without a jungler.
Who is not nearly as far behind as he was in game 1. Still down a level.
Yep.
And down farm. It's Gideon 4-1-7 in this game. Spears and Poke should go the way of DRX as the Hextech Dragon is being burst down. The flash on in. They are going to catch Ziyu. He doesn't have the sums, and they try to take him down, but it takes them so long. They do take the ass out of the fight, though. Gideon, desperate for something, goes into the Zhonya's, and he's got the Ambessa with him. Meanwhile, Rich in the backline, though, is going to survive forever. Finally gets smoked down by Gideon, but DRX have already won the fight, and they want a bit more. They're going to take down the Hands and the Hextech Dragon for their troubles.
That's the cost. Jiwoo burning both his summoners. You know, the death alone, I don't think it was that big of a deal when he died with the Arakan buff, but losing those sums made him a vulnerable target. Andal finds a beautiful ult. You're so good at like clumping together and picking a target, killing a target, picking a target, killing a target. They were very split there.
Oh, that's going to be a huge one from Teddy. Jiwoo even flashes at the end, and he just gets outplayed by Teddy straight up. They're pushing with the Baron. Projectile hits him, and Jiwoo just does not respect it, not able to get away. Yeah,
Lehen's not there, not in range to help out, and suddenly the game has gone from, you know, a game where DRX...
Okay. Trying to do something here. They did a teensy bit of damage to Ondil.
Yeah. Trying to just keep the wave back, but... Oh, Kingan's found Teddy. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, forces the flash too. Teddy in an awkward spot, but look at this. This is even more awkward. Gideon going to be caught out. Teddy's low, but it was a fantastic bait. He gets away. Lehens has to flash, and they still have the Baron.
Yeah.
50 seconds on the Red Bull Baron power play. I mean, they're going to get this inhibitor. I mean, Jiwoo is up though. Maybe they get a bit scared, but no. The other two members have to back and get some health back, and DRX will just take the inhibitor.
Nongshim trying to make the... Oh, Hex gating in. Lehens really wants a fight.
It is Lehens alone. Nobody has followed him to probably making the smart call not to follow him. And yeah, just a little bonus Braum kill. Not bad. We're going to do Hextech Dragon Fight 2, Electric Boogaloo, as Sponge taking a ton of damage, actually. He has to flash away. In goes Rich. It's very disjointed from DRX. Sponge is out of the fight. He is healing, though, but I think it's a little bit too late to actually contest this one. In goes Gideon, looking for something. Doesn't want to sleep, only Ondil, but it's just DRX. They've got their hands up in the air, and they're like, please don't come at us. We don't want to fight. We'll even give you Ondil for free. And that they do, so Nongshim somehow steal away a Hextech trade.
I think a big difference is if the arrow connects, you know, they're the ones initiating. Even though they don't kill Sponge, they force him low. Sponge has to play defensive. You can't threaten the smite. Not to make any crazy plays, not to overforce. Connect the poke. You know, you have so much strength there. You also have the Serpent's Fang from Yukal, so when the poke hits... Oh, look for the hand.
Yeah, Ondil just going to go in by himself. The Solar Flare is decent, but there's zero follow-up. DRX were like, what was that? We're not going in on that.
Yeah, I think maybe because Rich was on the flank, they were looking for something, but like the poke was landing, it was good poke.
Yeah.
They didn't need to engage there. I was going to say, even Yukal has the Serpent's Fang, so when he hits the Bloodthirster shield, it's so weird because like Nongshim at that dragon fight, they landed the ult on Sponge, got some poke, didn't commit. That's really what DRX should be doing. Getting some poke, you don't need to commit. Oh, Teddy.
Yeah, Sleep comes in. Teddy going in though. Jiwoo in a lot of trouble again. He flashes for nothing. Down will go Lehens. And I was worried for DRX, but they get a couple of kills. Ondil though going to go down. Kingan is a raid boss. And he flashes over the wall, but Rich is able to get the follow here as Gideon desperate to try to peel for him, but now he's put himself in a rough spot. Has to flash away. And DRX come up big in this fight. Should be able to take down the Baron.
It's never a good situation to be in. But here, you know, Yukal's mid, and they just kind of have to walk through Teddy, and it just doesn't work. So split right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like Nongshim really took off the ball, and it feels like DRX have been looking for these angles, you know, hasn't always worked, but this one paid off massively.
Yeah, and I can understand why they were desperately trying to join up because Gideon...
Oh, not again, not again!
Yeah, too. I think he's just dead. I mean, how can you save him? He's got nothing. They just flash over the Braum. The Braum doesn't even exist. They don't even look at him. Well, they'll take him down as an afterthought. Nongshim, one by one. The dominoes fall, and DRX say, well, do we even need the Dragon? Maybe we can just end the game.
Jiwoo has just not looked good this game at all. You can obviously put some criticism towards Lehens for not being with him, but, you know, the Hexgate start channeling, and he was kind of like, where do I go? Where do I go? Away! Run away! Jiwoo.
The other direction! There is only one direction to go away from this one.
Yeah, very indecisive. DRX managing to close this one out.
Yeah, they should be able to, especially with the Baron. Nice flash as Rich does get a little bit low, but it just doesn't matter at this point. The wallet are heavy enough. And Fisher just gives a little thumbs up and says, good job, guys. DRX, you figured it out. You won a game from ahead, and you were able to close one out here. So that's going to be a nice
You know, something I will mention is you did see this Maokai Blitzcrank combo from Gen G when it was Lehens Canyon.
Zooming all over the place as, speaking of which, Sponge is probably just dead here. He is going to go into his clone, and they're trying to give the kill over to Fisher, which they will do very successfully. Sponge has gotten himself into about 8 different bad situations so far.
DRX are going to do this, where it baits them into flashing.
Free knockup? Bit of damage. Well, that didn't go the way you were thinking it was gonna go. Lehens has a free kill, and he doesn't even bother flashing. He's like, "Yep, I messed up."
Look, I don't want to say I told you so.
You already said it like 15 seconds ago.
I did say it. You know, it's
Yeah, nice equalizer on the wave, at least to try to survive. But they have just so many threats here. And this is what this composition does. They get the flash out of Rich, and the flash out of Sponge as he flashed in for that play.
Oh.
Yeah, he wanted to test it.
He's like, how much damage does a tower do right now? This.
All right, they're staring at each other very menacingly as the ult comes in, and Yucal says goodnight.
Wait, they just can't kill him now. He can keep going.
Yeah, they can't kill him, and he has to flash away. Lehen so many times has said, okay, yes.
Always room to burn those pennies.
Yeah, that's what they used to say back in my day, as Yucal in a really rough spot, actually. 2v1. A lot of damage does go in, and Yucal can't even flash out of that one.
And Fisher's getting pretty strong, you know? They have 2 dragons, they have the grubs. They're actually heading gold now.
It's like pennies on the clothesline at that point.
Pennies on the clothesline.
It was Stunzo from there, yeah.
I'm so confused.
Oh, nice hook, actually, as they go in on a Wukong, and he just dies. Not quite able to have an impact, but Gideon taking a bunch of damage from Teddy. As you said it before, the scrappy fights. DRX will like those, but still, it's just a 1-for-1 trade. And it's Chemtech Soul and Kingen. And they just kind of back away, fighting over this Chemtech Drake for now. But Nongshim are like, well, we didn't want that anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
or do they?
Only Teddy's low. Gideon being low a little bit rough, but King gets a big ult.
Oh, that equalizer, very nice angle. Andil does not have flash, and Rich is taking a bunch of damage, but guess who does even more damage? It's the Zeri, and it's the Wukong. Again, just press your buttons all at the same time in one direction, and you're gonna feel pretty good as DRX. As now they turn their sights onto the Chemtech Drake, and Nongshim are running away. Some harpoons, but Kingen's just staring at him.
Question is, I don't think they feel strong enough to go for the Atacam right now. I think that is the right call. Seen far too many throws in that objective. Oh.
And, you know, some pings for the blue team. They are beginning to...
Fun.
Yeah, it's a bit too slow from DRX. 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. There's the smite. And now Lehens is going to hook air, but they have the Maokai ult engaged. They don't quite have the peel, though, as now stolen equalizer. They're trying to turn onto Yucal, but they're not quite able to. Wukong goes down. Tons of damage being dealt right now by Nongshim, and they've got this Jinx in the backline just shelling out the damage. And DRX, they bite off more than they can chew in this one, as they wanted to punish, but instead, they're the ones that got punished.
And they got so much gold from that. Got the shutdown from the Zeri as well. Massive influx. Jiwoo starting to feel a lot more fed now, and DRX completely fumble. Not only do they give too much space. Yep. And the problem is they're now just getting sieged down. Oh, comes in.
Okay, gonna be pushed away from the hook, and now Kingin, he's going on in. He doesn't care if he dies. They've done the damage. They take out the Lulu, and they still have the Otacon buff. Here comes Fisher, and he's just tanking up the turret because why not? He's gonna get the 1 kill, gets a second as well, the fade away. And UCal's like, by the way, I'm Silas. I can steal the Maokai ultimate. Isn't this great? Doesn't do anything. And maybe Nongshim just win right now.
This is just the end of the game. You know, Fisher's TP to come back, and a couple of fumbles, some good team fighting from Nongshim, and DRX get run into the dirt. It'll be 2-1 to Nongshim on the back of this. And a game that felt more decisive than game 2 for sure, but just felt like once they lost control, a little bit messy for DRX. They just kind of fumbled. They lost the Otacon.
Game number 4 in a Fearless Draft system. It brings out the most in the coaches, their ability to figure out drafts. Fight that. He's trying to get away. There's the flash on in from Gideon, and he's got Orianna to sponge, but the knock onto the wall, the angle is perfect, and the first blood is fed right into the hands of Fisher, who is going to feel so good about that. Yep. Here comes the wall. Fisher looking to join on in, use some of that gold, but it's just going to actually be Lehens that comes in as well and makes his life really difficult as Sponge once again falling very far behind Gideon here.
They're just punishing him for this early Sejuani pick. You know, they have a composition where you are not allowed to dash. It is illegal. You will die. If you dash, you'll die if you don't. And they are just punishing this Sejuani, who's normally a pick where you expect to play with confidence. You're tanky, you're bulky, you're hard to punish. Not right now.
So I really liked that pick from Ondil. As now, thinking about something here, they're going to knock away Teddy, and now it's just Rich. He does have flash, he's going to ult on in, but there's just way too many threats, and there you go. Just easy collection for Jiwoo. So he picks up the kill on a Rich, and there's nothing that Sponge or Teddy can do except watch.
Yeah, I think Rich kind of could have done more, if I'm going to be honest. You could flash the Poppy stun, and I think you could maybe get a turnaround kill. Like, you had backup coming soon.
UCal? Oh, that's a big rock. And the ult to come in, he pulls him closer, and the flash comes through. And Fisher says, thank you very much, I'll collect that kill. UCal left, and we might get number 2. And here it does come through. That's the flip on in, and Rich, he just doesn't even bother. I feel like there was even maybe a window to try to flash, but auto attack's already in the air, just decides to die instead. From the side of DRX, UCal, he wants revenge, he wants blood, but he's not in he's in a pretty rough spot actually. The stun comes down, and they're gonna give another kill over to Jiwoo. Rich trying desperately to take out this Aphelios, but he won't be able to. Sponge is also going to be kited out. Another root comes down, and he has to flash away from the seismic shove. And somehow, feels like Nongshim win all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a desperation play where you...
Oh, he's going to dash over the rocks here. Rich, rough spot, trying to punish Fisher. It's not going to work out.
DRX right now. Okay, Handle doesn't die. Man. It feels like they're panicking. It feels like they know the game is slipping out their hands. They know this is the last chance to stay in the tournament. They know that this is the last game if they lose it. And they are getting ripped apart right now. Beautiful stun from Gideon. The follow-up is there. Rich just about gets to play the game for a second and then dies. And then here, the ult from Jiwoo tries to go for the slow, tries to set it up. Gets a little bit messy, but the ult from Gideon is fantastic. And then here, the double TP. And I was thinking at this time, if this play doesn't go fabulously, they're just kind of cooked, and it didn't go fabulously. And now Nongshim working on these grubs.
Trying to pick up a 5th. Might just be able to. Lehens has got a great angle here as well. There's just nobody really to stop him either. He just runs straight into the Sejuani. Finally, Ondil is going to show up to a fight just to ult a Meganar. And it's not his fault. It's just they don't have any pressure. Lehens the one to set up the play as DRX overextend into the grub pit.
This one is Nongshim against the one that... If Nongshim win, it'd be Nongshim against KT. If DRX win, obviously be them. They have to win another game after this.
Yeah. Also, I misspoke earlier. We will actually be on current live patch next week. So we will have potentially Mel. As now, little combo here in a Rich. That is a Camille. Can he get away? Not from this duo. And that's really what it was designed to do.
Yep. You just don't going to move. Don't going to play the game.
Look at him. Hands on the back of his chair. I mean, there's nothing Nothing he can do at all, and it feels real bad to have this potentially be the final game until April for DRX. Not good at all. As it all comes in, Gideon is Poppy, so he's going to feel totally fine. Still going to flash away just to be safe. As
there we go.
They're trying to get time on their side. They're going to catch Jiwoo right there. Big shutdown right into the hands of Rich. And Rich, you know, he was feeling real bad, but immediately one team fight later, they get a huge pick. Maybe a chance for DRX. Some hope, at least.
They've been all 5 ultimates, and Nongshim only used Poppy's ultimate. So I don't think they're in a position to fight this next. Oh no.
Well, this is pretty rough as they're going in on Sponge. Gideon pretty low though, as not quite able to lock him down. Here comes Ondil and Teddy taking a bit of damage themselves. Will anybody die in this fight is really the main question. Sponge got extremely low. Yucal finally got on over with this TP.
Okay, a couple more ults
able to join.
Low health bars. That might actually have worked out okay for DRX. No, I think the Kingen's confident enough to start up the Dragon. I was going to say, maybe if they got them low enough.
Yeah. I mean, most important thing, it just buys them time. You know, Infernal Soul is not going to feel good. Trying to get on top of Teddy here. Looks pretty good to be able to do that, as, yeah, he didn't get to press a single button in that passage of play. And now Sponge getting slowed down by the Boomerang's going to get walloped as well. That's another kill given over to Jiwoo.
They'll let Rich get this.
Okay, well, Rich is going to get it. Can he get anything else? He is not alone in the 1v1.
I think he's just hoping to get out. That's what he's trying to get right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting out.
He's not getting out, I would imagine. For now, it's 2v1. They could also... Okay, and they're just also going to get Teddy on top of everything else. So they get Teddy, they get Rich. TP in a mid, but the damage, look at this.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's just way too much damage from Aphelios. Remember that he can just do this with a tank, as he had Gideon, has now nice ult onto the Camille, and they just don't have an in. There's so many chakrams coming out. It's
look
like,
at them!
Sponge is like, oh God, run away. But nobody else got the memo, and Sponge apparently didn't either. Look at the chakrams, there's so many. There's like 8 trillion of them. He's got like a whole squad. And eventually they disappear.
I've seen so many situations where you get a chakram stacked up and everyone runs away and you don't get to hit anyone. Jiwoo was gunning for them. He wanted to get the value. And now
be the end of the game.
They could just end the game, and it's kind of a deflating loss for DRX.
Yeah.
There was some back and forth in the series, but in the end, Nongshim just played the better team. Rich trying to find an angle. He's dragging the wave away.
He does do that, and he's buying a little bit of time. Teddy's up. But yeah, realistically, they're down 11,500 gold, and it doesn't matter what kind of things you do in this one, you're just not going to have a way to stop them. Nongshim will move on to the playoffs as your 6th seed from the play-ins. They will face off against KT Rolster, and to be honest, I mean, they're looking really good. It felt rough against T1.